views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Welcome to Talk Radio to Thrive By. Welcome to the rest of your life. And I say that because we have a powerful lineup for you today on Transformation Talk Radio and the Dr. Pat Show. We are in the process of getting Manal to join us here. Manal Aldaba joining us here today, and I hope we can get her. What an amazing woman. And really speaking about amazing women, speaking about how we can change our lives, show up, and say, wait a minute, how can we explore new and different ways of being? Now, here's the deal. If you're thinking that that's not me, I don't know how to do that, I don't know what that's about, let me tell you that our year, this year, 2018, is going to be focused on that. It's going to focus on a new way of being in unlimited possibilities, a new way of being in unlimited possibilities. And I'm thinking to myself, what do I even mean by that? What do I mean by a new way of being in unlimited possibilities? Wow. Mr. Benny?
Yes, ma'am.
Happy Monday.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, so look, this going into 15 years. 15 years.
Yep.
Now, I have to say that back in the day, if you want to go back 15 years, there was a handful, and I mean a handful of people doing positive, holistic talk. And I say this over and over again. Rob and Brenda, our Conscious Talk people, folks, really carved a pathway out there for this. And if you don't know who they are, Benny can tell you and tell you how to find out more about them as well. Go ahead. Oh,
okay. Well, you can find them at conscioustalkradio.com or .net. I believe it's .net, to be honest.
Yeah,
and everything's listed on our website, 1150k10w.com, for the schedule listings, and they are listed, and they are pretty much the pioneer of show that started this whole alternative talk transformation here in the Seattle area, and they're still going strong.
Yep. And I want to mention them. I give a shout out because we got to give a shout out to people. Then I've got to mention her, Patricia Raskin. Now, myself, Patricia Raskin, and do I dare mention his name? Yep, it's not all women. So let's get down with it. My buddy, Steve Maraboli. My buddy, Steve. And, we, unlike Rob and Brenda, we were a little slow to get to alternative talk, so we went the other route. Back in like the 03-ish time, we went the route of internet radio. For those of you cringing, internet radio is what we called it back in 03. And as a matter of fact, the three of us, and Patricia and I, are still going strong with that. Digital radio, now podcasting. We call it podcasting now because it's in a digital venue. We were considered, and are to this day, pioneers. And Patricia came out of the gate. Isn't that funny? Pat and Pat. Oh, she doesn't go by Pat. I go by Pat. She goes by Patricia. But that's
Hey, Pat, I'm sorry. We had Manal joining us. So Manal is actually on the other line if you want to say hi.
Awesome. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome. And you are actually live on air with us right now. And what I was talking about, as I was talking a little bit about you, which we'll talk about more as 15 years ago, when those of us, as I was saying to our listeners, those of us said yes to something that didn't exist before. Mm-hmm. What was it about that in our lives? What was it, as you like to talk about, what were we exploring as new and different ways of being? And for us, I just want to say, we entered this world of positive talk radio, holistic talk radio that didn't exist 15 years ago. It just didn't, and it's very easy to forget that. It's very easy to think, my gosh, there's like podcasting over here, podcasting over there. Everywhere you turn around, there's some kind of new talk radio show. 15 years ago, two of us, at least, were doing internet radio. So think about that. New and different. And we're here today to talk about it. You, as well, were stepped out in the world and you said, listen, new experiences, new knowledge, new ways of being, moving from biochemistry to bio movement. Here we are today, and we're talking about how do we encourage others to now come forward and be the people, the women, the men that we were meant to be. And in your case, you're doing it through so many ways, but movement is so important in today's world. Welcome to the show, and thank you for bringing new and different ways of being to the forefront of life.
Thank you. I like the biochemistry to biomovement. That sounds catchy.
Well, it's you though, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. I never put them this way together, but yeah.
Well, I want to ask you this question. For me, I started on this journey and then got sick 6 months later. I came down with the mystery disease, but I didn't give up what I was doing. As a matter of fact, the only thing that I could do was to continue to buy airtime and bring holistic living, positive messages to the world. I want to ask you this question. Now, talking about you and what you're bringing to the forefront, what are some of the challenges and what are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome to bring you to this very moment?
There are many external obstacles that come our way. But I think for me, for this journey, the biggest obstacle was basically myself. That's one of the my biggest transformation in terms of doing something that I had I wouldn't think of in a million years that I'm going to be doing it, which is stepping front and teaching other people how to move and dance. That I started teaching me in 2011. If you just told me, in 2 years prior or even 1 year prior that I'm going to be teaching and I'm going to be inviting people to dance and express, I would think you're pretty much out of it. But so the biggest obstacle was in my head, that voice that says, oh, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you can't do it. And the voice is still there through the years, but it kind of gets, the voice gets lower and lower. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, that's the one thing that could stop me from doing something. That's, keeps, discouraging me. It's like, no, you've been trying to do this for so many years and it's not working out. How about you do something else? So that's would be, the number one obstacle for me. Now, in terms of other obstacles, just, introducing something new as, in any place is hard. In Saudi, it's a little bit harder because there's a lot of, external restrictions and different things. So, but it's not it's not what would break me. So, so it's just, like I think, like you mentioned, the going into radio show and internet radio. In the beginning, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that easy. So it's just breaking into a new frontier and going against the flow of what most people are going. That is challenging. I would put it as challenging, not as an obstacle.
Well, and the reason I love to ask this is because we, and I don't know if you recall, back in 2003, the internet wasn't being used by much for nothing. It wasn't being used pretty much at all. I mean, it was just kind of coming into being. We always wake up and we think, my God, Facebook, Twitter, they've been there forever. Well, they actually haven't been there forever. Yeah. But I know that you know about this. I want to ask you, what is it from your perspective that has enabled you to find the courage to be you?
Well, it's something that didn't happen overnight, for sure. It's trying to think here, but it's I owe a big part of it to my NIA practice, which helped me get more in touch of myself and what I can and cannot do. That would be something that really helped. That gave me the power. Now, of course, I had external factors. Family is very supportive. My husband is really supportive, and that and also in terms of movement and NIA, the feedback and the joy that I get from teaching and from, seeing a difference that I'm making to other people, that keeps me going. I think that's the question you asked, right? Or did I go off?
Yeah, no. And we're going to talk more about this because we're living in a day and time today where we are being asked to show up as our best selves. We're being asked in a lot of ways. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. We're going to take a short break and talk about it when we come back. What's being touched upon right now in the world, not just in the United States, but all over, is we're being asked to ask ourselves, what are we going to stand for? What are we going to believe in? How are we going to define ourselves for today and tomorrow and our children and grandchildren? What do we want to be those defining moments that we can stand and look at and say, wow, that's incredible. I want to talk with you about that when we come back. But before we do, can you please let folks know how they can find out more about you and how they can find out more about your work?
I have my website is www.manalaltabag.com, and I think you have that on the website, the show website. And I don't do Twitter, so you're not going to find me there. The website and my email, that's the best way. I'm on Instagram as well. It's at Manal Me. And my work is NIA. I do NIA. You can find more about NIA at nianow.com, and you can also find my profile on that page. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Integrate spirituality into your everyday lives on Universe Soul Heart Radio. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Kathleen Johnson explores the concept of sensible spirituality, keeping you grounded, connected, and centered on the path to wholeness. Kathleen has dedicated her life to facilitating holistic healing and wholeness in others. Listen to Universe Soul Heart Radio and learn how to flourish, grow, and impact all we do on planet Earth. For more information, go to universesoulheart.net.
Tune in to the hit show Raging Skillet Radio, Mouthing Off with Chef Rossi. Chef Rossi mouths off about different subjects in pursuit of breaking down walls and opening up your minds. She and Dr. Pat banter back and forth, taking from the headlines of the day on subjects that reach beyond what goes on in the world into your hearts. And go to theragingskillet.com to find out more and let Chef Rossi know what's on your mind.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Are you traveling most of your day? Do you want to take Transformation Talk Radio with you anywhere you go? Well, guess what? There's an app for that. Just go to the App Store on your Apple device or the Google Play Store on your Android and search Transformation Talk Radio. Catch all of our live shows no matter where you are. Thanks for listening.
Tune into the wisdom of your soul for guidance on living a joyful life. On Soul Wisdom Radio, Wendy will provide inspiration to raise your vibration and connect with your higher self and guides. Learn how to balance your ego and to progress spiritually on Soul Wisdom Radio with Wendy Rose Williams. Visit wendyrosewilliams.com or Transformation Talk Radio to learn more about a healing session with Wendy and her events and publications.
The Janice Underwood Show, helping you create the life you want, not the life you tolerate. Tune in each Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as Janice delves into the Life Creator System and the next step in your spiritual evolution. Janice Underwood is gifted at helping spiritually minded people shift their mindsets to unleash the Creator within. Our souls wish to wake us up. Those of us listening hear the call. Do you? For more information, visit JaniceUnderwood.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so thrilled to be talking with Manal today, and look, if you're wondering about the show, many of you really got our message. And, what is it? This was the question we put out there for the title of the show, what it means for a Muslim woman to go from biochemistry to teaching dance. I said biochemistry to bio movement. I mean, it's just like whatever you're talking about or bio body, because the idea of bio body is so important. But what about the Nia technique? We're going to hear about that today. Those of us that know what it's like to be in this constant flux and challenge with the body. What does that mean when the body carries so much of our emotional state, our physical state, our mental state? What is it that has us want to just shut that thing down, but yet at the same time, what it really is calling for is a definitive moment where we remember that our bodies are meant to move. And why is movement so healing? Manal, thank you for joining us here today. Part of this is really finding out for many people listening is what have become defining moments for us in our lives, and how do those defining moments set us on a trajectory of our future, a future that perhaps we couldn't see, right? But when we're looking at movement, there are defining moments in our life, and I know you've had some. What are some of your defining moments, and how have those defining moments for you helped create a vision for your future and your life?
Well, thanks for having me on the show. There are, many defining moments in different parts of, my life. But when it comes to movement, The first is, taking that first step into a NIA class, and that was led by a curiosity of what NIA is. Thanks to Google, I found this thing that called NIA, and I had no idea what it is. So my curiosity actually took me to a class that was, I was living in Houston, Texas at the time. And so I stepped into a class, and I felt very awkward, very conscious. I had no idea what I was doing. And at the end of the class, the teacher would say, "Oh, you did great." And I was like, "Oh, really? I could, maybe come for a second class and a third." And so it became my go-to practice. And over time, I realized that I can do stuff in my body, and my body is actually really cool and can do a lot of things. I wasn't connected with it. So each class I stepped into NIA, I got closer to my body and understanding, just being in my body. And I say, NIA got me to be more of who I am today. It took me back to a journey of exploring myself, my body, and also my emotions and, my mind as well. So it's that connection of, it's really cool to be in a body. Then when I stepped into teaching, that was, a big step of, yes, I can do this. So that was just stepping into teaching NIA was a big change in my life and just my confidence level. So it became my thing. That's what I wanted. That's what I feel most joy in, dancing and moving. So
wow.
that was the big one that set me on this trajectory of dance and movement, really.
Well, I want to just take a moment for those listening to the show today. I want to take a moment and have you tell folks what NIA is, because I think it's so important for those of us that have been on a healing journey. What is the power of movement? And let's start out with a conversation about NIA and what you've discovered about it and now what you teach.
Absolutely. I love talking about NIA.
Yeah.
NIA was founded by Debbie Rosas in 83. So it's been going on for a long time. It's a body-based movement practice. So it is an exercise form. It's a class, but it's much deeper than just working with the body. It inspires from 9 different movement forms: healing arts, dance arts, and martial arts. So it's a really great balance between, the two energies, the yin and yang, masculine and feminine. And it's, body, mind, emotion, spirit. And by spirit, NIA is very clear about it being your kind of higher self, your true self, what makes a person, what makes you. So that's in a very small nutshell. It's very hard to understand what NIA is without stepping into a class. What I find special and, was inviting for me, especially to NIA, that it is for everybody. It has different intensity levels, whether you want to go for self-healing, you're having a bad day and going for self-expression. I'm sure I did that a lot. Or I want to go for a vascular workout. It depends where I am at the day. I get what I need from a NIA class, and everyone in class gets, what they want, what they need the day. So it's very inclusive. It works for all bodies. I've danced with, teenagers, and I danced with 70-year-old ladies as well. So it's amazing. And it's just all about being in the body, not just following the teacher. Is about, observing what the teacher is doing and taking that move and bringing and personalizing it in how I can make this move mine. So it's a beautiful practice, and it's a workout, a practice, and a lifestyle as well. So it's very, very multi-layered practice.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I wanted to talk with you about regarding this is what the power of movement is in terms of healing the body, and really tap into what do we need to know to heal the body? What have we learned about movement? And why are we now seeing a trend across the country, really across the world, to get back to, some of the healing tendencies that movement does bring to us, regardless of what condition you believe your body is in? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to cover all of that and more with Manal. We're going to talk about this movement, this dance, and, how is this growing across the world, and how about in Saudi Arabia? Stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Now you can be a part of one of the most powerful programs to help create a more joyful, loving, abundant, and peaceful world. Every day at 12 noon in any time zone, join millions of other people around the world to spend a few minutes in joy, love, and gratitude. Brought to you by Robert Schoenfeld, host of the Art of Powerful Living Radio. Together, we can raise the vibration of the planet. For more information, visit globalmomentofjoy.com.
Conscious Confidence Radio, a timeless wisdom with Sarah Main. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio and join Sarah on an adventurous journey to the deeper level of meaning to move beyond today's world of constant change, confusion, and uncertainty beyond the shadow of fear. This hit show explores key concepts such as confidence, values, and attitude in a dynamic way. To learn more about Sarah and her work, visit sarahmain.com.
Did you know that all of the shows on the Transformation Radio Network are available as podcasts to stream or download?
Really?
Check us out. Go to transformationradio.fm. We have business shows, spiritual shows, energy healing shows, and pretty much everything in between. Something for everyone, guaranteed to inspire, educate, and transform. We are transforming the world, one listener at a time.
Calling all moms, it's time to awaken your vibrant, intuitive, loving self in every area of your life. Join host Debbie Pokornik as she shares thoughts, stories, and tools to help you stand in your power. Listen to Vibrant, Powerful Moms, helping everyday women create extraordinary lives. Mondays at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. For more information about Debbie, visit empoweringenergy.com. That's empowering with letters NRG.com.
Let It Go Radio. The future awaits you. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Barbara Scheidegger explores the way to clarity, peace, and how to live a successful life on your terms by turning negative experiences into positive ones. Barbara's curiosity about the human experience drives her both personally and professionally. As a life coach, author, and renowned clinical hypnotherapist, Barbara knows how to move forward in a natural, organic way without side effects. If you want to grow, be sure to tune in to Let It Go Radio. To learn more, visit letitgohypnosis.com.
Are you searching? Looking for a sign? A message you need to hear? From the great unknown? From the most mysterious place that is the most familiar to your soul in the depths of who you are? The universe put someone here to talk to, someone God gave a blessing to, that you may find insight with. TheAngelLady.net. 1-800-323-1790. 1-800-323-1790.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks you all for tuning us in and turning us on. It's so great to be talking with you and actually to have a very special guest joining us here today. Manal, one more time, love for you to tell people how they can find out more about you. And for those of you out there, certainly go to transformationtalkradio.com. We've got a profile of today's show, how to find out more about Manal, link to a website, link to Facebook. But for our listeners, if you don't mind, one more time, please tell folks how they can find out more about you and how they can find out about Nia.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Manal the Bog. You can find me there. My Instagram is Manal, me, one word, and my website is manalthebog.com. And for Nia, you could go to nianow.com, and you can find my profile as a teacher on there and all info about Nia. And you can go to niatv.fit to take, if you want to take a class.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. I was talking with you before and during the break about the importance of movement and dance, and, where we see it growing across the globe. And certainly we're going to talk about Saudi Arabia right now. But the issues that we have really, especially in the United States, is people don't know this, but generally, we're not a movement society. We're not a movement culture. Yet, when we go back to the roots of the people that are here, certainly my family, both, our roots and heritage, where we come from, they're movement cultures. But we're starting to see cultures across the globe move. Whether it's the United States now with the resurrection of Zumba, or we're talking about, Saudi Arabia, we're seeing movement emerge. What's your experience about movement and dance, what it means to you, and how is it a growing initiative in Saudi Arabia?
Well, that's two questions in one.
Yes, it is.
Well, for movement of itself, and it's more of a movement that connects me to my body more than just moving, because obviously we're moving all the time and we're walking from one place to another, even though with, exercise form, aerobics, doing, it's just doing on the body, working on the body, working to get fit, get slim, lose weight, blah, 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 all these things. It's not working with it and in it. So, now movement is going into how do I connect with my body? How do I reclaim the power of what this amazing body can do, and how I can express myself through my body and not just through my mind. So that is a movement that is happening, all over the world, and it's been growing very, very slowly with pioneers like Gabrielle Roth with 5 Rhythms, and other modern dancer Martha Graham that had movement to as self-expression. But now it's growing in so many fields, not just as a dance, but also as healing arts, as therapeutic. Dance movement therapy is now a thing, and it's getting more popularity as we speak. So it's going into different fields of mental health, just health in general. So it's not just exercise, and that's that is happening. And that's been my own experience of being in my body, and it's really connecting to the body through movement is a way to reclaim personal power and understanding that how my body works, because we are in our bodies all the time. So if I don't know how this body functions and how I can get most of it, then really there is something missing in the picture. Now, when it comes to Saudi Arabia, people have danced and moved in, different settings, in like weddings, in more privately than, other places.
Yeah.
But now the exercise and fitness industry has been, booming. Yet I see that there is still emphasis of being in the mind and how the mind can function. And I have, a very, I like a phrase that I've got from an embodiment coach, Mark Walsh. He's British. That he calls it's not just a brain taxi. The body is not just a brain taxi. But that's how it's been in, so many places and in Saudi. Yeah. And plus that I personally found my own freedom within myself through movement. And that helped me cope with external factors, whatever is happening outside. I can, go into my space, put on some music and dance and feel, my own personal power. And that makes me able to face the outside world.
Yeah.
And that's been, been my mission. I moved back to Saudi 2013, and that's been my mission ever since. Not an easy mission because a lot of people are still stuck into they either I can't move, I don't know how to dance, or I want to lose weight. So if this is not going to help me lose weight or get fit, then it doesn't matter. It's not even a thing. So I'm not going to waste my time. So it's been an interesting journey so far, and I've just scratched the surface, if I did anyway. So, but that's I'm not sure. Sometimes I wonder, why am I doing this? Going against the flow, and it would have been easier to be a spinning teacher or a Zumba teacher.
That's right.
That is very easy. Or even a yoga teacher, because now everyone does yoga. No one even, question why anyone should do yoga, but movement for, I call it movement for movement's sake, and for understanding ourselves better and connecting to our deepest self and cultivating personal power. That's what I want to do. And that's not an easy thing. Not in Saudi Arabia, not in so many places.
No, and part of this too is there are cultures all over the world, as you mentioned, that have, underneath that sort of this underlying shame / experience about, well, I'm a little embarrassed to move. And right now, the epidemic of that is beyond, because we know that the body, from a lot of different perspectives, not just about the body, but the body from a spiritual perspective, from a healing perspective, is calling for us to move. And it doesn't say you have to move in this way. It's saying that it's saying, I didn't give you this body. You don't have this body, so we could sit 24/7. That's not really our human experience. What do you find is the best way to help folks move? What are you finding people respond to most about NIA and about movement?
When someone is ready, I think, to step into their own body, they enjoy a NIA class or a dance class. They love it. I've seen few people never come back to class, because, when you're moving, you're stirring a lot of stuff where all our emotions, everything, all our memories now, and I don't know if that's, I cannot cite a scientific research, but it's, the cellular memory is a thing. It's, it's been acknowledged that our cells store our memories, not just in our brains. And through movement, you stir a lot of emotions, a lot of things up. And some people are not ready to get in touch with that, for sure. But to get into how do I get people to come to class is, I tell them, well, there's no right or wrong. You can be who you are. You can be silly. You can goof around. You don't have to be fit. You don't have to be, you just need to be willing to come and experience it and have fun with it and do the best you can. So that's a window. And so it gives permission for people to come and try. And it's non-judgmental space. And I think a lot of people respond to that, I could, come and be who I am in a space. And with other people, my way is that, this is our body and we need to take care of it. And this is my way of doing so. And so come and try and check. Maybe it's your way of, enjoying your body too. So I kind of have this light, not serious approach of, lightheartedness, just, come and try. And I see that people respond to that well.
Yeah. I want to ask you the question about, living in the world, the messages, the healing that happens from it. What is it that when we think about this and we think about where you're going with this and what your vision and the mission is, that there is a vision that you have, not just for your own life, but for the life of so many, what does it mean, to be a Muslim woman in Saudi Arabia or from Saudi Arabia? And what is the story that most people don't know? Because I think each of us have our own personal story that help carve out the legacy for ourselves. And I would love to talk to you when we come back from break about what this story is and what it is that you're doing, crafting and shaping, the untold story of your vision and your mission. Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back.
So when are you most peaceful? When you're connected to your source. When you have a deep connection to your soul. And you're living your spiritual way, your unique way. And when are you most stressed? When you're not. It's really, really simple, friends. When we start to borrow desires, we start to control others and situations and people, things go wrong. Nobody wants to be controlled. So it's really important to get connected to the source if you want to remain stress-free. When you're connected to the source, you will have deep access to your own intuition, your own way of living, absolutely fresh and new every moment.
Winning at the game of money. Lynn Brown is now offering Full Spectrum Finance, a progressive 12-month program that will help you to navigate through the mechanics of financial expansion. Finally, a financial planner who looks at the full spectrum of money and abundance. Engage you in the mental, physical, and energetic aspects of finance. This is Full Spectrum Finance. Are you ready to get into it? For more information, go to fullspectrumfinance.com.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Do you want to heal your body and mind? Your body has a lot to tell you if you just learn to listen to your intuition. Audrey Michelle, host of Rewired Life Radio, can help you peel away the layers that are holding you back from living your best life. Tune in to Rewired Life Radio. Learn to love, heal, celebrate on Transformation Talk Radio every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Connect with Audrey at audreymichelle.com.
Choose the new earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. The Cornelia Stephanie Show is your catalyst for anchoring heaven on earth on a global scale. For more information, go to corneliastephanie.com.
You know, I just had a realization, Benny.
Yeah.
I just had a realization.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd asked me 15 years ago, I mean, honestly, they didn't give me 15 minutes to do this. I think Rob and Brenda had a better case at it because they had, especially Brenda, she had such a compelling story. But they really didn't give me 15 minutes. They were like, how's a girl from the Bronx going to talk about anything? Honestly, really? And I find myself today in a little bit of awe. I had like a moment here during the break with Manal. I thought, are we really doing a call on the show today from a Muslim woman, a mover in Saudi Arabia? Is that really happening right now?
It's the way technology works, and we love it.
And I thought, though, Manal, I got to say this. I'm a girl from the Bronx, New York. And I mean, I'm a lot of things, but I really am that. I was homeless at 17. And some days I got to pinch myself with the honor of being able to speak with you. And I think I'm going to cry a little bit here because I don't think that people know what you are doing and the courage you have and how you, this woman from Saudi Arabia, are breaking through barriers, are stepping out in courage. And I know it may not seem like much. I know you must go about your day in, day out, and you're smiling about it. But I never thought in a million years that in my life I would have the honor of having this conversation with you. And I really want to make sure that we do honor your journey and your story and what you do, because it is transformative. It really is big. And I want to thank you for joining me here today, because even being on this show is enormous progress. Yeah.
I'm glad to be in the show and, sharing a little bit of what I do and where I come from. I've been, going to the States a lot for my NIA trainings. And I found that each time I go for a training and for NIA and other things, that I always get this, at least, one person, I have this look and it's like, oh my goodness, you are from Saudi Arabia. And and yes, I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm not an alien. But, people are always very nice. I have to say, I never had, disrespectful or, difficult encounter. But I always got this like, oh, really? And I found that I'm having a lot of conversations and with multiple people usually at the time. And in a way, I became, I don't want to say spokesman, because when I speak of my own personal experience. I don't speak on behalf of all women in Saudi Arabia, but I was happy to clear some, misconceptions, difficult questions, because I know my country is not portrayed in the best light, in the media. And that took for me also a personal journey of getting in terms of with that, of owning, my heritage, where I come from, whatever things happen that I don't agree with, it's not within my values or my principles. It's not me. It's happening in the country, but that's not me. So I found that, owning my story, and I'm very proud of where I come from, my upbringing and my family. So, but I've started to realize that I'm doing something good of, bringing some light to, to a place that a lot of people don't know about. And in one of my trainings, there was this lovely lady, and she said, every time we look at the news and we hear Saudi Arabia, a lot of terrible things are there. But now every time I hear that, your face come up, and I know that there is a different story. There are other stories. So it became a conversation that I love to have. And that's, one of the reasons that I wanted to come on your show is, to tell that story to a wider audience. Yes, as a woman, as a Muslim woman, there's a lot of challenges living in Saudi. But there are challenges for a woman everywhere. And I don't want to say that this is better than the other. But there are some amazing women here in Saudi doing amazing stuff. And those people are not, covered by the media. They're not the storytellers. They're not the news, tellers. It's not the headline. Unfortunately, we live in a world where, bad news is what sells.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle to do things. It's not very easy for women to be in Saudi Arabia, but it's a journey, and things are changing, and it's nice to be part of the change that it's coming. So yeah, that's a big part of what I like to do is, share, the untold story, as you mentioned before.
Yeah. And what I love about this is that this is a time that we really remember and hold close to our hearts the freedom we have to speak and to speak out, right?
Yes.
We are now in a world where each of us is being asked to really look in our hearts and ask ourselves deeply, closely, and personally, what is it that we are going to carve out as a vision for ourselves? And I love having this conversation with you because it reaches across boundaries, it reaches across states, it reaches across countries, it reaches across race, it reaches across religion. And it speaks to really the freedom that our heart is so longing us to ask for. So I wanted to thank you for today, and again, ask you one last question. What is your personal message? What would you like to leave us with? And thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, if I want to put it in some, in one message that, women all over the world are having the same struggles and the same aspiration and the same goals. It's nice to reach out and, talk to as many women from different backgrounds and different religions and different things. And at the core of it, we're pretty, we're all the same. 99% of, the world want, happy homes, peace, love and kindness. It's so reach out and, find connections and, get in touch with your body, find your own personal power, your own personal freedom. And that can, help each one of us face the world. So I think.
Yeah. Thank you so much for today. Please give out your website. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And if you're in Seattle, go to a NIA class. Love my NIA teachers in Seattle. My website is manaldabag.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you very much, Dr. Pat, for this lovely evening. My evening, your morning.
Yes, that's right. Like I said, and Benny said before, it is the magic and the miracle of connecting us. Thank you to the internet out there. We're going to take a short break, everyone. When we come back, more with the Dr. Pat Show, more with Transformation Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
Preceding audio was via a Skype call.